streaming on that one there, and that will
Okay.
Henry will come on in just a second if he isn't already on.
Okay.
It should change color on the top.
Okay.
All right, so go for it, girl.
All right, so we're ready. Hi. Thank you. This is the new show, Taste Life Radio. How cool is this? Hey, everybody. So I'm here. My company's Taste Life Nutrition, and I'm Nikki Burnett. I'm a functional nutritionist. I'm here because of this man and Henry in the back. If you've seen me at all, you've seen me here with Lowell Whiteman of 360 Performance Radio. He does amazing things with his work. He does Friday shows at 11 a.m., correct?
Yes, 11 a.m.
Friday?
every Friday.
Every Friday. So let's talk about your show for a minute, and then we'll jump into my show.
Yeah, the brand new show. What's the name of the show again? Taste Life. Taste Life Radio.
Taste Life Radio. It's a tough one.
Yeah, every Friday I'm here doing my thing with sports performance and helping people understand what the effective nature of mind-body connection is all about. And nutrition is a big part of that, which is why Nikki's been part of my show routinely and will continue to be that part of that. This week, tomorrow at 11 o'clock, we're going to talk about the influence of coaches on the outcomes of a competitive performance, whether that's a game, a practice, or just kind of working on some skills. And coaches are around. They're always around. I think they believe their opinion is worth more than it may be. Because we don't cross the lines anymore. I talk to players all the time and say, look, it's all up to you. Once you cross the line, it's you. It's not me. I don't do this. So I'm interested in the dynamics of that tomorrow and arguing the point that people argue with me that coaches, it was their win. They're the ones that did it. No, they didn't. I disagree fervently about that. So we're going to talk about that. How do coaches influence the outcome of a given game? That's tomorrow's show on 360 Performance right here at KUHSdenver.com.
Very good. Well, thank you.
What are you going to talk about today?
Well, I think today is just kind of an introduction. That's what I want to talk about, a little bit about who I am, why I'm here, why I feel like I have a few things to say, and have some fun. So I'll give some insight as to what the show is going to look like and what we're going to talk about and the guests that we'll have on, a little bit about what functional nutrition means, and we'll talk a little bit about food. And today's just going to be just an introduction and a hey, how are you? And if you have anything that you want me to talk about, then post them. Let me know. I'm open. So it'll be a good time. I'm
excited about not only today and letting everybody know, but you've got some great topics coming up for the future.
Thank you.
Especially that pet connection thing you're talking about. I like that.
Yeah.
And then I think everybody needs resources that they can legitimately feel comfortable with. Supplements is a big kind of question mark, black hole.
It's so hard. You're talking about a black hole, and can be dangerous.
Well, yeah, I know physicians I've talked to where athletes have tried supplements and they didn't share that with their physicians, and they regretfully have a surgery.
Oh.
And they go under a medication, a pain medication or whatever, anesthesia, and they didn't know about the supplement, and they get an allergic reaction or a conflict with that.
Problems,
So, you got to know. You got to be informed.
You do. It's true. So, that's what we're going to talk about. So, I will just jump in.
Well, get after it, girl. I'm going to say good luck.
Thank you.
And have fun. I'm going to be watching from the other room.
Okay, perfect.
Take care of yourself.
You're my support system. All right, here we go. Okay, so I want to talk just a little bit about me. I won't bore you too much, but if you have seen me, you've seen the advertisements, you see some things behind my name, and I just want to clear up what that is, so you know. So MS, of course, is Master of Science. It's actually animal science. So a big part of the show, probably as much as possibly allowed, I plan to talk about animals, specifically dogs at this point, but it's, horses and dogs are sort of my thing. But dogs, we are not treating them the way that we should, and we don't know that. So I want to talk about real raw food for dogs. I want to help them in any way that I can. I'm a huge advocate, so that's going to be a big part of it. Now, as far as my nutrition goes, the CNTP behind my name is Certified Nutrition Therapy Practitioner. The MNT is Master Nutrition Therapist. So, with that said, then I also have been trained through the Institute for Functional Medicine, which I believe is the cutting edge of medicine and nutrition. And it's there to address the entire body. And so we'll dig into that a little more here in a little bit. But things to look forward to. I'm excited about this because I really want to dig into, and I want to have a lot of fun, but I want to dig into the food. I want to dig into the science, but I want to talk about all areas of health and wellness. There's so much out there. We have so much information and knowledge and education, and it's like it's right there at our grasp, but we're still unbelievably confused, especially about food. What's right, what's not right, what's a fad, what's not a fad, what's good for me, is what's good for me good for everybody, and that's a big fat no. So we are all individuals, and so there is no black and white, really. It's all gray, and we have to know who we are as individuals. We have to know what our body needs. We have to know when our body's talking to us, because it's talking to us all the time. And so digging into what all of that looks like is really, I think it's a huge passion for me, but it's important for me to help you understand that you are unique and you should be treated that way in every way. And there are many factors that go into a healthy lifestyle. So obviously we have food, which is what I love, but we have stress factors, we've got genetic factors, we've got environment and biochemistry. There's so much that is out there that affects us and who we are and how we feel on a daily basis. So getting as much truth out there as I possibly can is really my goal. I this morning actually was listening to a radio show. It was a YouTube show actually, and the YouTube, it was a doctor on there who is really good at what he does. He's becoming bigger and bigger, and a lot of people know him now. And he had made a lot of really great points. But I'm going to tell you what I found with his points was he left out some points in order to make his point what he wanted it to be. And I have a little bit of a problem with that. I think that we need to have the whole picture, a clear picture, a true idea of what it looks like to know you and to be healthy. I don't want to have little pieces and parts in order to push my own agenda. But we all have things that we want to get out there and we want to sell and services to sell and products to sell, and I get that. But my goal here is to give you as much really solid, good information as I possibly can, and then just have some fun with it. I want to bring in people who are amazing at what they do. So I want to talk about water. I know that sounds really boring, but it's not. It's kind of amazing what water is and what it can do. We're going to talk with acupuncturists and physical therapists, and we're going to talk about personal care. We're going to talk about our environment, what we put on our body, what we put in our body. We're going to talk about mindfulness and meditation and prayer and all of these things that make us complete. And we're not going to leave out little pieces of the puzzle. If we leave out pieces of the puzzle, then we don't have a complete puzzle, obviously, but we can't see the full picture, right? So we have to have at least as many pieces of the puzzle as we possibly can in order to have a clear picture of who you are and what you need. So I do plan to bring in someone also. I'm super excited about this. This will be within the next few weeks. Someone who is doing he's building a dog lab company. So if you know me at all, labs are like my jam. I love data and I love looking at labs because that's the way that I can see that the body is talking to me. That's how I can help my clients see, okay, this is what's going on, because I can't feel their symptoms. I can hear what they're telling me, but I can't feel them. So labs is their body saying, okay, this is what I'm dealing with. Help me fix it, whatever it is, right? Let's find some balance there. So the same with dogs. Dogs are unique. They're individual. Their genetics are different, so not all dogs need the same thing. We treat them all the same way by giving them kibble and assuming they're going to live, for 25 years, which they should at least, and we're losing them in 8 and 10 years. It's a sin. It's disturbing at best. And so we're going to talk about what dogs need. We're going to talk about real food. I'm going to have my friend come in and we're going to talk about the dog labs that he's running, and I'm just super stoked about that. So that's going to be a ton of fun. Okay, so with that, I also want to be sure that I am giving you information not only on just the good healthy food and the mindset, but companies who are there also doing the right thing. I support companies, I want to support companies who are truly there to support their clients, their customers, which I would be one of their customers, and then they're supporting my clients, or if I was a physician, which I'm not, my patients. So there's a company called Zymogen, and their products are on WholeScripts. They are a truly amazing company. There's something that I want to talk about when it comes to supplements real quick. I want you to be just overly aware of purchasing supplements on online companies like Amazon and eBay. There's a ton of data out there showing, and I had the studies, and like I said, data is like my jam, so it's important to know that this is all fact, right? But if you're buying supplements online, there's a really good chance that it's not what it says it is. So that can be at most, or at best, a waste of money, but it can also be dangerous, damaging. What they're showing is it could be expired product. It could be not what it says it is at all. It could be sawdust. So let's go, okay, well, sawdust may not be that bad, may not hurt us, but let's think about what we put on wood, chemical preservatives, things like that, so we can have it out in the, have our fence and have our decks in the weather. There are lots of chemicals in sawdust and in wood. That is exceptionally dangerous. So I use Amazon all the time, probably more than I should, but I will not purchase supplements, essential oils, anything that has to do with my health, because it may not be what it says it is, and we have to be really careful. I'm going to tell you, it's happened to me a couple of times that just something for my hair, it wasn't the same product, okay? So we have to be very, very careful. And so there are companies who are really there to be, they're there to be there for the people, right? And they have the data that back up their supplements, and they have the information that they can give. And so I'm a big fan of Zymogen. I think that they're a really great company. And so there's a product that I really appreciate, and so it's really important to know who you are before just taking a bunch of supplements. It's why I do what I do, because I understand the supplements and I'm always learning more and more about supplements. But there's some things that are pretty safe for pretty much anybody. And there's one that I really like that you've probably heard of. It's MCT oil, or medium chain triglycerides. Those are really cool products because they're antimicrobial, they're good for the gut, they're good for the brain. It's a great product, the MCT oil is a great product itself. It also doesn't have to be digested, so it's this healthy fat that goes straight into the bloodstream, and it helps with cognition, it helps with weight loss, it can help with a lot of things. So this particular product that they have, it's an MCT powder. It has probiotics in it, I think it's actually prebiotics, I'm sorry. So prebiotics, which support probiotics, which are you're the bugs in your gut, your microbiome. We need to have good healthy foods that support our gut, because what does our gut do? Our gut is our immune system. It's our mental and emotional health. It's a huge part of who we are. So good product for supporting the gut, supporting your microbiome, supporting your brain. I love it. You can actually go to my website, tastelifenutrition.com, and there's a big button on there that says WholeScripts. It may say WholeScripts and Zymogen, but on there, you go in and you can put in Radio 5, so that's the code for the show, and you can get the MCT oil, or you can get, it's a powder actually, but you can get whatever you want off of there. Add a little bit of a discount because I just appreciate this company so much in what they do. So with that said, I want to get in a little bit about why I do what I do and where I come from and who it is that I am. because that's really why I'm here, you know, and I have this need, like I said earlier, just to get out the good, real information, because there's so much confusion and it makes me crazy. And I'm going to tell you, I was in the same place. Before I started studying nutrition, and I'll be very candid, that when I was in college and in grad school and even after, I did the fad diets. I did, well, in college, I didn't diet at all. It was Dr. Pepper and Taco Bell all the way. And it was amazing. Not really, but that's what it was. And so, you know, I did the fad diets. I did terrible things to my body because I just was clueless on what I actually needed. Then I started researching. Once I started researching, I truly just never stopped. But what I know is, and so it's been researching now for 25 plus years on nutrition and health and wellness. But what I know is anytime I researched, and I know you're going to feel this too, anytime I researched, how many different answers did you come up with? How many different people would say, I'm right, this is what you need, this is the only answer, the only one, and you're confused, right? And then you try all of these things. You try them all. You waste money on supplements, or they don't do you any good, or maybe they make you worse, or maybe they make you better, right? You try different diets. You gain weight, you lose weight. Your autoimmune condition gets worse. It can flare. I mean, there are just a million different scenarios when you're trying to figure out what's going on with you online. And that's what I did. And that's, I think, what all of us do. And so it just pushed me to finally, to the day, I was like, I've got to go to school. I'm going to go back to school. I'm a forever student. That's probably what I would always do if I could. But I want to go back to school, and I want to know what it is that I'm talking about so I can be of service to others to help them in that space of just amazing confusion. Because it's a terrible place to be. I've had my own health issues. I've had my own, like I said, crazy diet fad things that just went way wrong. A whole other story. But anyway, and another thing that is important to me, on top of going to school now, is the continuing education. I'm always doing continuing education. I'm trained through, at least in part, and will continue to be trained through the Institute for Functional Medicine. I believe I said that, but they are an organization that is really at the top of all organizations in my mind. And so the cutting edge is the place to be, because there's so much when it comes to now individualized medicine. I don't practice medicine, but individualized nutrition, that we need to have this information. We need to know who you are, who I am, in order to help bring balance, because so many of us are out of balance. I mean, things just keep getting worse and worse and worse. But we have this amazing movement in the functional health world, where we're learning that we need to take it down to basics and understand the root cause of situations, of symptoms, of conditions, in order to allow the body to bring balance to itself. So the things that I would notice as I was growing up: sick family, and family passing or suffering from diseases that just didn't seem to make sense to me. I'm like, this shouldn't be this way. Why is this happening? And I want to share a story with you that is not a family member, but when we talk about food and the power of food, just food by itself is truly amazing. And so I thought would be a great way to start, because it just made such an imprint on me. So this is a client of mine, one of my clients out of Mexico, and she was young. She was 18. She was had suicidal thoughts. She was depressed. She was about 5'9", I think she weighed 90, 95 pounds, lots of acne. She could not put on weight. She was, poor thing, a mess. And when I met with her, I just thought, holy smokes, what are we going to do with this? And so, as we go through a protocol with clients. You know, you do things kind of in phases, and so essentially that's what we did. And being that she was in Mexico, you know, there's a little bit of a little extra time that has to be added onto it through, you know, sending lab kits and supplements and things like this. But the most amazing thing is what we did with her starting out was we ordered the labs, but it took 4 to 6 weeks for the labs to come back and for us to see them all. But we took out dairy, gluten, eggs, corn, and soy. So a lot of, I mean, imagine she's in Mexico. It's a big part of her daily lifestyle, or all of these things. Within 2 weeks, we didn't do anything but get rid of some of these foods. Within 2 weeks, she was a different person. Her mom called me just in tears because her life had changed so much. I mean, they have to put the hard work in. You know, I'm just a guide, right? They have to put the hard work in. But it was an amazing, beautiful thing to see that she had such a huge transformation just by the food that she was eating, right? So we have food that can be this beautiful, amazing, life-giving substance, and it's a necessary part of our life, or it can be killing us, right? So a couple of interesting points to that story is the fact that when we did get the labs back, especially her genetic profile, we saw that she had the potential, or the tendency, or the genetic potential toward autoimmune disease. So how cool is it that she came to me early enough? They had the awareness to find somebody early enough at 18 to find help, and then they very likely saved her from a lifetime of disease. How cool is that? So a little bow on top of that, I just found this out recently, back a couple of months ago. I spoke with her mom. She's doing amazingly well, and she's in school, in college, for nutrition. I mean, what is that? How cool is that? I think about that, and it literally puts me in tears, because she literally changed her life by knowing there was something going on and sought help for it. And it's not just me. I mean, she could have sought help from anywhere, but it's knowing to listen to your body. We have to listen. Pain is not normal. Inflammation, swelling in the gut, these things are not normal. And so what we have to remember is this is our body talking to us. It's our body telling us, okay, there's something going on. I'm sending you signals. I'm knocking on your door going, hey, let me know, or I'm trying to tell you that I need help and you need to do something about it. And so oftentimes, what do? Well, we take Advil for the inflammation or for the pain, or we take heartburn medications for the heartburn. But what are we doing? We're covering up the symptoms. We're not finding the root cause. And so if we're eating good, healthy food, we're sending this amazing, clean line of communication literally to our cells and our genes. Okay, so food is not just food. It's amazing and it's yummy and it's great. Food is a language, and it tells our body what to do. So if we're eating foods that our body doesn't like, it may be blueberries, but if our body doesn't like it, it's going to tell you. But typically it's going to be the processed, the chemical-laden foods, the gluten, and the things that the body just doesn't like because it creates inflammation. Then it's sending this really unclean, broken line of communication to the cells in our DNA, and it can handle it for a little while, but there's going to be a breaking point. There will be a breaking point, and that's when the symptoms come up, and that's when the body's saying, hey, there's something going wrong. So other things that are going to be from inflammation, mental and emotional conditions, right? Anxiety, depression, all of these things can come from eating the wrong foods. It can come from lots of things, lifestyle, stress. Something that I think is really important to understand is that stress literally shrinks the brain. So those are things that we want to get more and more into as we get into the show. But stress plays a huge part in our health or our lack of health. So as we move into what I do and in doing my best to understand the bodies of the people who are coming to me, I want to dig into what it actually means to be a functional nutritionist, and I hit it a little bit. But first off, again, I do want to say I am not a physician. I have trained through the Institute for Functional Medicine, but functional nutrition is based in the science of functional medicine. And so I think it's important that I have as much an understanding as I possibly can when it comes to what it looks like in the medical world and what the functional medicine practitioners are doing. And then I can take that back and I don't diagnose and I don't prescribe drugs and I don't treat, right? But I can understand what it is, what's the basis of understanding what it looks like to help clients and bring their bodies back to balance. And so if you think about it, I wish I'd have brought a picture in, but it's easy enough. If you think about a tree, you've got the roots and you've got the trunk, and then you've got all of the branches and the leaves. So you can think of the root. This is where our symptoms are coming from. This is the root cause of your different conditions and diseases, so that's why we call it the root cause, right? And then you go up and your symptoms are up here. So you've got these organ systems and you've got the pain or the inflammation or the bloating or the discomfort, whatever, the mental and emotional issues. We have to go to the root. And so that root cause is key in understanding how to work with bringing those symptoms back into balance, getting rid of the symptoms, bringing them and allowing the body to function well on its own. And that's the goal, is to bring the body to balance so it's functioning well on its own. Okay, running short on time already. This is crazy, but there is another company that I want to talk about real quick that I appreciate. They are just launching. So this is a brand new company, and from what I've heard about them, I really thought this is a great company that I really want to promote. I know the developers of the product, not personally, but I know who they are, and I'm using the product now on my own. My husband and I both are, and so I can let you know how that goes. But so far, people, the company is called Rightful, and it is a turmeric product, but it's got 8 plant-based products in it, and it is for inflammation, but it's been really good for mood, for sleep, for just feeling good. And so I'm excited about this product. I'm excited to see where they go, and I'm excited for them because it's really fun launching a company. So I am going to sign off here pretty quickly. Nikki Burnett, Taste Life Nutrition. You can go to my website, Taste Life Nutrition. You can also do a couple of things. There's one thing that I want to put out there just really fast. There's a place called it's under About Us, and there's sign up. And so I have this cool box full of all these new cool products that are super healthy, super clean. They're delivered to you monthly. Actually, right now it's every other month. So this is going to be a really cool thing if this is something that you're interested in. But I'm super excited to do this again with all of you in 2 weeks. So at this point, 30 minutes every other week. And I think that's it. Lowell, is there anything that you'd like to add?
Well, you're doing great. Awesome stuff.
He's keeping me on track.
Making sure that we close really strongly. And for those of you who are going to be around in 2 weeks, stay tuned for what's your topic in 2 weeks?
Topic, food and mood.
Food and mood.
Food and mood.
What should they expect from that?
That's exactly it. So how food affects our mood and how it's connected. We have the gut-brain axis, so that's really important to understand that the gut and the brain are connected. And food affects so much of that, and many other things.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
It's great to have Nikki here with us at KUHSdenver.com every other Thursday at 10 a.m. Have a great day,
Awesome.
everybody.
Thank you. Do I do anything over here?
Henry's got that.
Okay.